Well, as Renee said, my name's Todd Schaefer. Happy to be here. Yeah, I wrote a book called The Acceptance Guidebook, and it's a spiritual, non-religious type of a book. When I was in third grade, I had a major, panic attack, anxiety, pretty commonplace, I guess, looking back on it, but there wasn't any reason for that I knew of, just was kind of there. So, time goes on, I continue to be a normal kid, right? And, every once in a while there's these panic attacks, and I don't know why. So I talked to my dad about it, and I say, Dad, what's going on? And he says, well, here are some books. One of the first ones he recommended was Joseph Murphy, The Power of Your Subconscious Mind. So I started flooding that into my head. I'm about 17 years old. And what happened was that, at 17, before any major belief systems are kind of built inside my head, I started feeling really good. Hey, this stuff really works. It's hypnosis, basically. Just affirmations. It's like church, except you just amp it up and do it more. So basically, I felt invincible after a couple months of doing that. Wow, this is awesome. So at that point in time, I got excited. I was like, I'm hooked. Whatever this is, I'm hooked. This is super awesome. I later came to define that as spirituality, self-help kind of stuff. So what happened in the 20s, I started reading more spiritual books, right? Reading more and more. When you're passionate about something, you just get excited, you keep going, right? And, next thing you know, you look back, halfway through and you're like, people start asking your opinion on stuff, Hey, what should I do with this, Wow, I guess people think I know what I'm talking about. So that's what I did, just on the side helping friends out, and then after a while I started charging people for it, for spiritual coaching and stuff like that. So the Acceptance Guidebook is a combination of probably about 6 years of spiritual growth on my part, because the oldest writing in it is about 6 years old. Over 6 years' time, I wrote about 32 essays, articles, which later I decided to craft together into a book. Once I decided to publish it, I took about another year to wrap them together and make it a little bit more coherent and understandable, so people could kind of get what's happening, And then I'm getting feedback from people, and people are saying, this is great, this is going to be awesome, I can't wait till this book comes out. And I'm like, oh, it's great, I'm happy about it, and you need to tell people this, you need to tell people your story, is what they say. So I put the story in the book. So basically, me asking my own questions and finding my own answers kind of led to the book. So there's my own thought process in it, and like my mother says, or like she used to say, you need to dumb this stuff down. I'm running it for you. This is pretty deep. It's also in small bites. Every chapter has a subheading, which is this big, oodles of little quotes. Now, Renee would tell me, what's in it for you, right?
Right. What's in it for us, Todd?
You should listen to your damn story. So here's this is the actual back cover here, and I'll just cover the bullet points. Develop self-trust, recognize and follow your guidance. Discover self-acceptance and self-worth. And what is self-worth? I mean, just to glaze over, a good friend of mine told me, I say, Kenny, what is self-worth? And he says, self-worth is how much it's worth to you to yourself. I was like, wow, that's pretty insightful, and it's pretty easy to remember. Create healthy boundaries, detach from the drama of others. That's one of my favorites because there's like a no bullcrap tolerance, and it goes into how to draw the line with obligation and with guilt and these things. In every interaction, there's conditioned responses that people have. Family situations, friend situations, work environments. There's a way to cut through that muddled crap so that you don't have to succumb to it and still be in your power. That's what I cover. Gain awareness of ego's tricks that inhibit growth. Understand fear and remove its grip. Allow good things to come to you. Law of attraction stuff. Learn the practical power of prayer. The ego stuff, people think of ego, and if they're not familiar with the Course in Miracles, they're going to say, well, ego is the macho, I'm better than you thing, right? Well, ego is actually, according to Course in Miracles, it's a spiritualized ego. Ultimately, the ego stuff is what's false in us. We don't take it with us, in other words. And the spiritual stuff is the real stuff. So how do we get through that stuff and find our spirituality? Well, we separate what's false and what's real. Does that make any sense? Mm-hmm. You make it right for you. You read it. If you resonate with it, take it home. If you don't, throw it out. And that's what I say at the beginning of the book. I'm not here to convince you of anything. I'm here to show it to you, share what I've learned, and the rest is yours. I'll read this really quick. In a delightful and rare balance of humor, honesty, and clarity, Schaefer guides you step by step to help you find your natural and innate divine nature. He shares his own ups and downs while giving you the stepping stones to overcome whatever pitfalls you may encounter. A lot of vulnerable entries in there. I had to build myself up before publishing. In this heartfelt gift of wisdom and guidance, Todd honors your path and your choices. He never forgets that you are divine and that you are God's highest expression of life. Join Todd Schaefer in a remarkable quest and discovery of peace, love, and joy.
Is there one article that you really, or not one article, but one piece in your book that you really, really like?
The one that's coming to me right now is compassionate detachment. Is that what it's called now?
Yeah.
That, which happens to be like the oldest piece that I have in this book. And also one of the most inspired pieces. That's the detach from the drama of others thing. Mm-hmm. And here's a fun little story to go with it. That piece was inspired on an airplane ride back from Hawaii. Which came up earlier tonight inside the and it was running time in Hawaii, so which makes it even more right. So I'm riding in the plane, and I get inspired. I'm reading some books and stuff, and I suddenly see this hot air balloon in my head. And then I picture, well, there could be a guy in the air balloon, and there could be a guy in the mud. Now what if the air balloon is trying to help this guy out of the mud, type of thing? And is he going to get him out? Is the guy in the mud going to pull him down? What are the dynamics involved there? And I started to paint a picture around that, which became this article called Compassionate Detachment. It doesn't mean let somebody die in the mud, by any means. At worst, the boys get stuck in the mud together, but they don't they don't die.
They don't go under?
Right. So, really cool stuff. And it has to do with what I call feeding energy, feeding off another person. Here's a person who's being fed upon, so to speak, letting that person do it out of guilt or obligation or thinking that you should. As a matter of fact, there's a whole article called "Don't Should on Me," and it goes into all that. So a lot of stuff that people experience and know day-to-day life, but they don't talk about it.
Right. You can get it on Amazon right now.
It is on Amazon right now.
And you'll sign it?
I will absolutely sign it. Yeah.
And how about downloadable?
It is downloadable.
Kindle?
Yep.
Okay.
For
you can't sign your
$10.
Kindle. Awesome.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay!
The Acceptance Guidebook is now available for purchase at these locations and more.
To learn more, come visit me at acceptanceguidebook.com and facebook.com/Todd Schaefer author fan page. Thank you.